The Wonderful Adventures of Nils. Страница 7, Story 1. Once there was a boy. His name was Nils Holgersson. He was 12 years old, tall and slim and fair. To be honest, Nils wasn't a very good boy. Best of all, he liked to eat and sleep, and after that he liked to make mischief. He lived with his parents on a small farm in Sweden. They were very hard-working and thrifty. Страница 8. But they were unhappy because of their son. Father complained that he was dull and lazy. He didn't want to learn anything at school. Mother was upset because he was cruel to animals and ill-willed to people. It was a Sunday morning and the boy's parents were going to the fair in the neighboring village. Nils decided to stay at home and enjoy himself. He could do whatever he liked while they were away, but no such luck. His father stopped on the threshold and turned to the boy. "Since you don't want to go to the fair with mother and me," he said in a severe tone, "take your textbook and do the homework." Of course, Nils didn't want to do his homework, but he couldn't disobey his father. So when his parents left, Nils began to read. It was the most beautiful weather outside. It was only the 20th of March, but the spring was already in full swing. The cottage door was ajar, and Nils could hear the lark's song. The hens and geese walked in the yard, and the cows who felt the spring air lowed in their stalls. It was so boring to read the textbook. Soon Nils began to nod and fell asleep. Suddenly he woke up because of a slight noise back of him. Страница 9. On the windowsill there was a small looking glass, and almost the entire cottage could be seen in it. Nils looked in the glass and saw that the lid of his mother's chest was open. Nils could not believe his eyes, because his mother never forgot to close the chest. Who could open it? Was it a thief? He didn't move, but sat still and stared into the looking glass. Then the dark shadow which fell across the edge of the chest became clearer to him, and he saw that it was an elf that sat there. He was a tiny creature, no taller than a hand's breadth. He had an old and wrinkled face, and was dressed in a black frock coat, knee breeches, and a black hat. Apparently, the elf didn't know that the boy was watching him with the help of the looking glass. Nils was surprised to see the elf, but he was not frightened because the elf was too little. The boy decided to push him over into the chest and shut the lid on him, so he glanced around the room for something to poke him with. Then he saw an old butterfly snare that hung on the window frame. He took it and jumped up and swung it alongside the edge of the chest. The boy was astonished at the luck he had. The elf lay in the snare and could not free himself.